Measure C was passed in July of 2018. A lot of things have transpired since then. A lot of promises were made and things changed, and those didn't happen. So let's talk about some of the promises that were made. The first was that the tax would be reduced from $182.50 per parcel per year down to $150 per parcel per year. And the council actually followed through on that and reduced that right about the time it went into effect. Another promise that was made was that city government would seek to promote industry, particularly cannabis, and would collect cannabis taxes, and that those would rise to a point that they would be able to eliminate the parcel tax. Well, they had a hard time getting cannabis companies operating. Some actually gave up and went somewhere else. A few have gone into operation. Only a couple have actually followed through in paying the taxes, and several are operating and not paying the taxes. Little bit has been done, in fact, almost nothing, to collect those taxes. Another promise that people think was made is that this tax would mean the city would improve. The truth is the tax was to maintain city operations at the level they were. In fact, Measure C has a component of it that any new tax revenues that come into the city go to reduce the tax rather than to make improvements in the city. So that was not a promise. They didn't fail that promise, but it did mean that for 6 years, we pretty much weren't going to see any new improvement. Measure A has the same structure, and we would likely be in the same situation until we get new industries and new revenue to come in and not only replace the tax, but give us money to improve the city. I think it's important to explain something about city government. A lot of people look to the council for running everything. The truth is that the council creates a vision, creates policies to back up that vision. They also hire the city manager, who is the person that actually runs the city, and they do some oversight of what happens, such as being watchdogs of the money that's spent. The city manager is the administrator for the city and runs day-to-day business through the staff. The city council really has no direct involvement in day-to-day operations. As this applies to where we are now compared to 2018, the city has gone through 9 city managers, 7 in the last 2 years. That's created an enormous amount of instability for the city. It's no wonder that the city hasn't been functioning at a level that they could generate new revenue. If you imagine, it probably takes 3 weeks for a new city manager to get acquainted with city government and even knowing the staff. It takes a few months before they really know much of anything about the city. And it probably takes about 3 years before they can really run the city efficiently. Imagining that we've gone through 9 city managers means we really can't expect that much was running effectively at all. Now let's talk about arguments for and against Measure A. One is a perspective that says the city council and city government has failed to do their jobs, has failed to follow through on promises, and that why should we prop up a city that is not doing their job? Why should we, the citizens, vote for a new special tax when they weren't unable to do the things they promised to do on the last special tax? Why should we, the citizens, pay the taxes that cannabis industry should be paying? Aren't we just enabling the city to continue to operate in this kind of inept, dysfunctional manner that they are? Those that would advocate this position would say, vote no on Measure A, because to vote yes is just perpetuating a problem rather than solving it. The argument against might be that our city government is incredibly unstable right now, and we need stability. To try to punish the council or to try and punish the city managers that come and leave regularly isn't going to fix the problem. What we need is stability, not instability. And to not vote for this in a spiteful manner is not punishing the city. It's punishing us, the taxpayers, the residents, because we won't have a city that runs well. We will add another level of instability by making now our finances unstable so that there's no hope of being able to run the city the way it should. By voting for Measure A, we create a level of financial stability that allows for this new city manager, one that will stay, to be able to have the tools that he or she needs to run the city and to create a way forward to stabilize the city, bring in new industry, collect the taxes that have not been collected, and to move us forward with a strategic plan that will create long-term progress and prosperity.